Welcome to the percentage problem sums course, and before you start to solve the questions, we just want to make sure that you really understand the basic knowledge of solving problem sums related to percentages, and at the same time there are some tips and tricks that I think that will benefit you. So let's start. Alright, there are a few types of percentages, problem sum types, and one of them will be decrease or increase by versus decrease or increase to. As you are referring to your 40 sums volume 3, you'll notice that these two questions are very common, and sometimes it's very confusing because the child doesn't really understand the difference between by and to. If you see questions like reduce or decrease by, that means there's a real reduction, or you can see it as it's being chopped off, or there's an addition. Yeah. So, for example, if the length is reduced by 50%, which means that actually it's chopped into half. Yeah. So you can use something like this if your math is better, or if you're not very sure, you can treat the original length as 100% and then you find 50%. Yeah. In some cases, percentages are still very confusing for children. You can change this to units. So instead of writing 100%, you can write 100 units, and the rest is the same. Okay. Now, what about increase by? It's the same logic as reduce by. So if I increase your homework by 10%, that means I add on. Okay. So it's the same thing. You do the necessary steps. You can either do this or do this, or if this is confusing for you, you can change percentage to units and it's the same thing. Okay. And remember this little trick of cancelling the zeros, because it can actually make your calculation much faster without relying too much on calculator. Okay. Now, what about reduce to and increase to? If you see this example, when they say reduce to 20%, right, that means the final percentage of the red marbles is actually 20%. Yeah. And if you see this example, percentages of the green marbles is increased to 80%. That means the final number is 80%. Is 80. Yeah. This is the final number. Okay. Now, what about questions pertaining to original price, discount, and this discounted price and GST? Okay, the original price is always 100%. Yeah, which will include both the discounted price as well as the discount. For instance, if the original price is unknown and the discounted price is $200, after you are given a discount of 20%, that means this is 80%. So 80% is equivalent to $200. Alright. Yeah. So what about GST? Okay, GST is a bit more interesting, because you may be dealing with an old 100% as well as a new 100%. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so the original price is always 100%. That means, let's say you go to a shop and you want to buy something, and what you see is 100%. Okay. Let's say there's a sale going on, and you have the discounted price after taking into consideration the discount. Yeah. Now, how is the GST imposed? the GST is imposed in such a way that the discounted price is actually the new 100%. Okay, so you have to treat the discounted price as the new 100%, and then you plus the 7% GST. So to make it easier for children to understand, normally I will use the old 100% and the new 100%. Okay. And then another thing would be for more or less than the second identity or the object is always 100%, which is the base. Yeah. So again, same thing. B is the second one, is 100%, and then D is the second one, is 100%. Yeah. If you want to use a ratio, right, it will be versus or is to 100. Yeah. Same thing here. You can see that D is actually 100. Okay, and make sure that you actually simplify them because you want to deal with small numbers. What if you have instances where you have three names like this? Okay, let's use this example. E had 20% more than F. So let's do one at a time. E versus E is to F. It will be, you know that the base is 100%, right? So E will be 100 plus 20 is 120. Okay, now you ignore the first sentence and then you go to the second one. G is the new 100, the 100%, then F will be 100 plus 30. Okay, so in this case you need to make F the same. Okay, and I have intentionally missed it out because I want to focus on the base 100%, and most people will make this kind of mistake by literally adding or subtracting the percentage from the 100%, and it's wrong. So please take note.